This story was posted in my Discord, and I'm gonna be honest, it completely caught me off guard. And this is an example of why, if you have kids who are of age, shoot, even if they're younger, get them to the range as soon as humanly possible. And if they're a young lady, get them in there even faster. Because remember what I told y'all about soft targets. This is an example of that right there. And I'm glad they actually have a picture of this person and a name to go along with it, so they can hurry up and get this person behind bars where he needs to be. So in case y'all don't know who the young lady is on the left, that is Natalia Bryant. That is the daughter of Kobe and Vanessa Bryant. And she has been stalked, or she's being stalked, by this individual by the name of Dwayne Kemp, who you see right there on the right, who looks like an extreme weirdo. Like, that picture like gives creep vibes all the way. Now, Natalia is 19. Dwayne Kemp is 32. He is 1 year younger than me, and he is stalking her, literally stalking her. And this message, or this cryptic like statement that he said, and I guess one of the messages that he sent to her, says that he wanted to make a quote unquote Kobe like child. Now get this. Natalia has no idea who this guy is. She just knows this guy is stalking her. She's never met him. He's never met her. He's probably only seen her in pictures. Up until this point, she didn't even know this guy existed. And that's the scarier part about it, is when you have stalkers and you don't know who the hell they are, but that's kind of the point of a stalker. But hopefully when she's out and about, hopefully she has a good line of security around her, because she doesn't need to be out there by herself, especially since who she is the child of. So it's, like I said, it's just some weirdos out there. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from LakersDaily.com that was posted November 21st, 2022. Natalia Bryant, daughter of Los Angeles Lakers legend Kobe Bryant, is currently dealing with a terrifying situation. According to TMZ, the 19-year-old has been dealing with a stalker that has a criminal history involving guns. The younger Bryant went to court on Monday to file a restraining order against 32-year-old Dwayne Kemp. In documents obtained by TMZ, the man first attempted to contact the younger Bryant 2 years ago when she was just 17 years old and he was 30. She says that the man has been under the delusion that the two are romantically involved. However, she has never met or been in contact with him. It goes on to say, she says he has done everything he can to find her ever since, and she is living in constant fear. He showed up at her sorority house at USC, wrote TMZ. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ he also allegedly showed up at one of her classes and was roaming the building. It gets much scarier. According to the docs, Kemp is in the process of buying at least one gun. The doc says the sale is imminent. The docs go on to say he has threatened to buy both an AK-47 and a fully automatic Glock. Think about this for a second. This guy showed up to her sorority house. He was caught roaming the halls in the building while she was in class. Like, that is, yeah, like, that would be mind-blowing to say the least. Good thing they have his image out there and they have his name. But he needs to be locked up. They need to find him immediately and get his ass behind bars. And they said he'd been stalking her since she was 17. So for the last 2 years, he's been stalking her. And no one has done anything yet. She had to go file a restraining order. That's crazy. And how ironic that it said he's been stalking her for the last 2 years, and Kobe, he and his daughter passed in January of 2020. So he's been stalking her after Kobe died. Interesting. I wonder if that's why he waited. Kemp reportedly has been arrested and or convicted 4 times, including one that involved firearms. 4 times? Well, why the hell isn't he still locked up is the question. The younger Bryant also claims that the stalker once sent her a disturbing DM saying, "Thankful for him birthing you. Hopefully we can birth him. Kobe." What? That is one of the weirdest messages I've ever read. The documents obtained say that he was hoping to have a Kobe-like child together with the younger Bryant. As many know, the elder Bryant passed away on January 26, 2020 in a helicopter crash that killed 8 others, including his daughter Gianna. Kobe Bryant is survived by his wife Vanessa, Natalia Bryant, Bianca Bryant, and Capri Bryant. The 5-time NBA champion was beloved not only in Los Angeles but the entire world. He was an icon overseas, especially in China, and his memory lives on today. Hopefully his eldest daughter can put this nightmare behind her with the temporary restraining order she is looking for so she can continue her modeling career in peace. I don't know if a restraining order is going to work, because when it comes to stalkers who are in that kind of diluted state, they be like, restraining orders be damned. It's going to take more than a restraining order. After reading how this guy showed up at her sorority house and has been on her campus walking the halls while she's having class, a restraining order is just not going to do. What's going to stop him from one day, I don't know, having the nerve or the balls to show up to her house, to her home, and maybe say, I don't know, mess with her siblings or her mother trying to get to her? I mean, granted, it sounds like something that plays out in a movie, but it plays out even more stranger in real life. Where do you think a lot of these movies get their inspiration from? She needs to be at somebody's range, especially now that we know that this guy has been arrested 4 times, and a couple of those times involved him with firearms and him purchasing a firearm too, which means he can be considered armed and dangerous. 2 years, y'all, he's been stalking her, showing up at places that she frequents, which means he's been keeping tabs on her. A restraining order is only going to do so much. And like I said, a lot of times when people are in this diluted state, they could care less about a restraining order. They say, oh, it's just a piece of paper. They've already got me 4 times. It's not like if they give me a 5th time that they're actually going to hold me this time. I might get out again and continue to go on and on and on. She needs to, like I said, she needs to be at somebody's range, and she also needs to have some mace. Definitely. And she also does not need to be by herself. She needs security, or she needs to be surrounded around a lot of people that she can trust. But good thing we have his name, we have his age, and we have his picture. And like I said, this guy looks weird. Look at him. And the thing is, this is the only picture I could really find of him like looking like this, and who knows what he was laughing at when this picture was taken. I don't know if it was, I guess it was supposed to be a selfie, because it looks like from the reflection off of his glasses, it looks like he's holding a phone in his hand, so maybe he was taking a picture. But yeah, it's some weirdos out here, and they don't care if you are so-and-so's child. If they want to stalk you, they're going to do it. I mean, we've heard stories of people stalking celebrities all of the time. Remember Hinckley, what's his first name? The one who was stalking Jodie Foster back in the 80s. And then he went and shot Reagan because he was so in love with Jodie Foster, as if he was doing it for her, as if she went up to him and told him, I want you to go and shoot and attempt to assassinate the president. So yeah, and she was a child at the time. She was a child star at the time when that happened. Well, or teenager or something along those lines. She was I'll say she was more like I think she was a minor. I'll put it like that. Excuse me. But yeah, it's crazy out here. But hopefully she has the protection that she definitely deserves in more than one way, because she's going to need people around her that in case this guy tries something, that they'll either beat his ass, or if she, for God forbid, is by herself, that she has a projectile power tool on her person, because she's going to need it. And imagine how traumatizing that has to be for you to have to constantly look over your shoulder to think that someone that has been stalking you for 2 years might be in close quarters to you, or is in close quarters to you. After all, this guy showed up to her campus. He showed up to her campus. Remember, she's never met him before. This is the first time I've seen his picture. So his picture's out there now. So this is probably the first time she's seen him. That's scary. But hopefully, with the connections that she does have, via her dad and even her mother, that they can rectify this situation sooner rather than later. I had to go and do some more, let me get my words correctly. I saw and found some other pictures of him. And like I said before, this guy's a straight up weirdo. But one thing we also got to remember too is that it could get to a point where he might actually try and commit a mass shooting on some Elliot Rodgers shit. Remember when he didn't get what happened when he didn't get his way with certain women, and what he went out there and he did. And they said this guy is a gun enthusiast, arrested and or convicted of at least 4 crimes, including one involving firearms. So this is him right here. And this is his Twitter profile. I can tell this is on Twitter. This is his Twitter profile, but look at his most recent postings. November 19th, 2022. I'm recording this video on November 25th, 2022. So this was last week. This is about a week ago when he posted this. This was recent. And this guy is still floating around out there like it's nothing. Hopefully by the time this video goes up, that he will be in cuffs and in a cell somewhere.